they call triathlon a lifestyle sport because it's roped into your life so much. It follows the mental load that you have just in your day-to-day life with your family and with your friends and with your career.
When I swim, as long as I can do this, we're good.
So sometimes you have those mental highs, everything's going good in your life, and you're really motivated towards your next event that you have. Then there's the hard times where you're maybe 6 weeks into your training that you've started going towards a race. Your body is physically tired, and then you're mentally tired because your body's tired. But there are mental battles, and a lot of times you just have to circle back to, why am I doing this? There has to be some bigger desire of why you're doing the sport, or you'll just easily just quit. As a triathlete, you almost feel like you're living out of your car half the time because you have so much gear that goes into all these sports. Half the time I've got a swimsuit and a swim bag that stays in my car. I've got a pair of running shoes that you can usually find in a floorboard of my car. It's just crazy. You become almost like a nomad in your vehicle, even if it's just to and from work.
Training is going good. I'm training a lot more. I'm working a lot less, just trying to live little and be able to afford the triathlon lifestyle, which is always not that cheap.
I grew up with a swimming and running background. I had a swim coach that was like, hey, you should do a triathlon. And I didn't even know what a triathlon was. But for whatever reason, once I've started into this triathlon lifestyle, I just got engulfed in it. And then everything I did, I just wanted to wrap it around it. I believe like every person's gonna have some gift in some way. And then just finding it and following it. Let it bring your life to you.
And then I assessed, is there any impingement on your rotator cuff at all along through here? If I could compress it, it would hurt. If it was, and there was nothing there. So that's good too.
For me, I like looking at biomechanics. And then I got so interested in that I found chiropractic through a roundabout way. I saw chiropractic as an opportunity to be able to work with athletes and help people that I had an interest in working with. I love the community of triathlon, so I eventually got a coach and said maybe I should take this a little more seriously. And then I started winning some races, and then I was like, okay, like, what's the future in this sport? And that's when I said, okay, let's try to go professional in this sport. What's that take?
There's like a top 20 men, top 20 women in the world that race in these races. So it's good to kind of watch it, see if they do anything different than you do, and just kind of learn from some stuff you can catch along the way. But it's also just interesting and fun to watch to see how the different athletes compete against each other.
The only two distinctions in triathlon are you're either an age group athlete or you're a professional triathlete. As age groupers, you can do races that allow you to have national championships and world championships. That's all within the age group. When you go professional, you can go and enter a race that has prize money of $5,000 or more. If you are a long course triathlete, that means you're doing things that are predominantly
Ironman. The Ironman is the history of the sport of triathlon.
Where you're doing a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike ride, and a full marathon at the end of that, of running. You can choose to go that direction, or you do half of that distance. And then there's the short distance races, which are sprints and Olympic distances, much shorter. Usually those races last about 45 minutes up to 2.5 hours.
Today, the USA Triathlon National Championship, you folks will be working towards qualifying for the Multi-Sport World Championship, which will be taking place in...
Some of the hardest things about being a triathlete is you're balancing 3 sports, basically, and you're trying to train for 3 sports. When they look at triathletes, we actually do more physical training than any other sport does as a professional athlete.
So welcome everyone once again.
Got to the swim start. It's always a little nerve-wracking. It kind of gets your heart rate up because all the aspects of what's going on around you.
National Championship has started. Let's make some noise.
As soon as I hit the water, it was just like, game on. I know the swim's gonna be what the swim's gonna be. Just stay calm. That's always my big focus. So coming out of it, I was pretty happy with time and everything. I just knew that I got out of the water feeling okay. Got onto the bike. You always don't want to go too crazy, but you want to push in the beginning of the bike just to kind of make sure you're where you want to be position-wise and kind of set yourself up for the long 2+ hours. Got to the run and the run legs felt there pretty quick, so I set out feeling good and comfortable with the start of the run. Somewhere between the first mile and 2 miles, I started feeling the lower abs get a little tight, and then before I knew it, it was just like someone grabbed it and just was gripping it, and it took me out of running. I just had to like go over to the side, hunch over for a second. And then I thought about what my fiance does. I think I just needed like a pat on the back, a little encouragement. That's what she's really good at.
So I already knew if I kept him within 6 minutes on the bike, I would beat him, even if he didn't stop him.
He's built like a tank. So.
That's what I told him. So he's a big guy, but he still runs fast.
It's just saying the right things in those kind of times. That was like breath of fresh air in the moment.
You got people rooting for you. Kevin's texting me saying they're cheering for you.
There's so many elements to triathlon. It's just hard to control everything, and this is a sport where you can't.
Yeah. Okay.
I love doggo.
That's part of what makes it a lifelong sport.
Okay.
And then eventually I was just like, I'm not gonna DNF this. I'm gonna finish all 3 laps.
Good job. I'm just always proud of him. No matter what he does, I'm just proud of the effort that he gives, and it's really hard. Racing's really hard, especially long distance, so I just like to see him smile out there, and that's it. I really don't care what place he gets.
Like the first time I stopped and tried to like stretch him and like rub him just to get him to like stop and hit me. And then I started running again. I could only go like a couple steps, and then I'd have to stop and do it again, and then go like a couple steps, and I was just like, I'm not gonna do anything.
The sport's hard to commit so much to it and then have things not go how you planned. And it doesn't even matter if you're like trying to win. It just matters if you're trying to have a good day, something that you set out, you set goals, and then whether you achieve them or not. And when you don't achieve them, those are like the hard times.
What makes the difference between you and the other guy that has the same amount of talent and the same amount of drive as you? If this competitor is basically the same as you, how are you going to be the one who beats them? You have to find the way to push yourself through these sessions. You have to do the work. They might cut a session short. You can't be the one to do that. Do something that they're not willing to do. Push yourself past where you're even trying to throw in a towel, but you know inside, deep down, you could keep going, but that your body just wants to quit and you want to get out and you want to not do it. And it just gives you even more drive. So the next day might turn out to be even better just because you chose to push through that workout. Do something that you really love right now that you're not doing. Go and do it. Like, use your gifts. I love trying to encourage people to push their limits. I think a lot of times a mental will limit the physical in our sport. I love the saying of give energy to get energy. It's so exciting when you see someone make a personal record or they just crush a time that they've done before. So I'm always encouraged and encouraging to people to see them hit these things and break their barriers that they maybe didn't even think they could or was possible. So I'm hoping that that encourages them and inspires them to achieve great things. Races are more of a celebration of what we're all doing.